everybody, it's Jess Herbeck, Fit Mama Ford here, and I have my little assistant Annie helping me today. And we are going to make an apple crisp for National Dessert Day. Now yesterday the kids and I went to the apple orchard and we picked 2 of these huge bags all ourselves of apples. And we got all kinds of different apples. We got Granny Smiths and Yellow Delicious.
Well, it was mostly Granny Smiths.
I'm going to use mostly Granny Smiths in our recipe today because I like to bake with crisp tart apples. And that way the dish isn't too overly sweet. So I already pre-washed and took the stems out of the apples that we're going to use today. And I have this fun contraption. And this is a apple slicer. So if you are making desserts with apples or some homemade applesauce, which I'm going to make later this week, so watch for another video, having one of these contraptions is really awesome. I got it at a kitchen supply store, and you just stick the apple right on here and it screws onto the countertop. It's really awesome. And you just turn the handle and we'll show you how it works. So I have my apple slicer set up, and I just take the apple and I put the stem side on the prongs here.
And make sure that when to make the apple go through, you have to push hard.
Right, you have to push it hard. So we'll turn it and push nice and hard. And this will peel and slice my apple all at once. It's pretty nifty. And it comes off in like a ring. It's pretty cool.
Kind of looks like a pineapple.
So you can leave it like that, or I'm just going to go ahead and chop like through the rings like that, and then put that into our baking dish. And I can just slide the core off. And we're going to add the peels too, because I like the peels in there, and that gives you some extra fiber.
Good.
It may taste good. So we can set it up, put our next apple on there.
Mommy, how many apples are we gonna need?
We're going to need about 8 to 10 apples, depending on the size of your apples.
And we've only did
3, so
down to our last 2. And I would suggest cut the skin too, because they're a little long.
yeah, so you don't have big, huge strings of skin in your apple crisp. So Annie's just going to slice through our rings of apple.
Now we're going to do some seasonings. We have nutmeg, we have ginger, we have nutmeg, and we have cinnamon, and we have some honey.
So we're going to add just a 1/4 cup of honey. Since this is National Dessert Day, we'll add a little bit of natural sweetness. And I got some local raw honey when we went to the apple orchard yesterday. So Hunter's going to pour this honey all over the apples. And we'll add in a teaspoon of cinnamon. And sprinkle that all over.
Look. You got it here. You got
I know. We'll wait till we put all the spices on, and then you can mix it all together.
So nutmeg.
And then just a 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg.
And then the ginger.
And
obviously not my favorite part.
Oh, but it'll taste good in the mixture. And just a 1/4 teaspoon of ginger as well.
Can I stir it up now?
Yes, now stir it all together. You want to fold it all together so those spices and the honey are distributed throughout all the apples.
We're going to start the chopping now, and we already chopped some pecans.
So we chopped some pecans. We have about a 1/2 cup of chopped pecans. We're going to add 1 cup of old-fashioned oats. gonna add that in there. We have about a 1/4 cup of melted butter. Yes, we use real butter. It's better than margarine. So you'll add that in there. And I'm going to put in a teaspoon
Mom, do you want me to put this in
of
the
cinnamon. Yes.
A teaspoon of cinnamon.
That in there.
There we go.
And another 1/4 cup of honey.
So I see that we're using a lot of honey, Mommy.
Well, honey is a good natural
Thing and
sweetener.
it's delicious.
It is
That's why we're using honey. It's delicious. No, that's not the only reason. It sweetens up things.
Yes, it's a good way to sweeten your desserts without using any
Sugar.
refined sugar. Will you put that in the sink, please? So we'll mix that all together. We mixed up all the ingredients for our apple crisp topping. And
So now I guess we're going to pour it in.
yes, now we're going to spread it on top.
Like so. On the apples. Lime bomb? It looks like it's going to be a great apple crisp. Mom, lime
Give it a
bomb?
nice crunch on top
Mom,
of
Mom,
our
Mom,
apples.
Mom.
We have the topping distributed on top of the apples. Like I said, it doesn't totally cover the apples. It's just enough that it'll give us a nice little crispy
Mom,
crunch
are we done?
on our apple crisp. So now we're going to stick this in the oven at 350 degrees
How long?
for about 30 to 35 minutes, and we'll check on it.
So, we'll see you
I
then.
ended up baking it for about a total of 45 minutes at 350 degrees, and it looks bubbly and crispy and perfect, and it smells delicious. So turn on your smell-o-vision. What do you think, Annie?
It smells real good. I think it looks good too.
So we can't wait to taste it and give you our seal of approval.
Hopefully you like this dessert too.
Annie is about to try the apple crisp.
Very, very good. Best apple crisp I've ever tasted.